Hi, this is Robert at StocksMovingNOW.com. We're looking at the difference between FAZ, which is a bear fund moving higher. It's a bear fund ETF, and U.S. Steel, which had some bad earnings report. It's selling off into the close. Certainly, it's broke down below this $50 psychological barrier, and FAZ is breaking through a $20 psychological barrier. As you can see over here, FAZ continues to make new highs, while U.S. Steel, or X, continues to make new lows. So this is, you've got overall market directions showing that the market's going lower, as well as negative news on this individual stock and this big, huge increase in volume, which we're seeing here. Obviously, at the morning when the news, their quarterly earnings came out, this stock had some big volume today based on that. If we look back on the 5-minute chart for one day, you see just some huge amounts of volume here. 1.67 million shares, 1.65 million. Now we're currently at 950,000, so certainly it is significant, but it is going lower. Additionally, again, FAZ continues to climb. This was identified here at StocksMovingNOW.com initially at 1524, which was right here on this bar, where it broke out to new highs for the day on increasing volume. Currently at 2016 last Friday, it tried to break through the $20 mark, but it couldn't. It pulled back, and today it's retesting that. So if we look back here over the last 5 days, say, and you'll see FAZ, it keeps touching on this $20 mark. Right here, the high was 2016 and 2020. So right now we're pushing up right into that. The ETF may be the way to go right now on this trade, because it seems to really be pushing. Again, it's an overall market ETF, a bear ETF, but as you can see, the volume's increasing here. The volume on U.S. Steel, contrary-wise, is pulling back. We're not through with the 1-minute bar, of course, but this is the kind of thing you want to see. Now, in an ETF, it's not so much news-driven, it's trend-driven, and it has been. If you look at FAZ over the last, say, year, it's just fallen way off of it, all the way up to here to 1155. Of course, that was during the low part of the stock market, when it got down to about 6,500 on the Dow. But here it's just been running flat, and it's in the 17 to 20 range, and it looks like it's trying to break out of there. So this could be a breakout for it, which means the market's going lower, but we'll just have to wait and see. If we take a look at FAZ relative to the market, you can tell it's up 2.75%. The Dow is just slightly ahead at 0.14%. Now, we do have the State of the Union address tonight. I don't know if the market's going to sell off in advance of that. I don't know what Barack Obama is planning on saying. Certainly he's going to pummel the money center banks, Goldman, B of A, but we'll see what exactly comes out of that. But again, for U.S. Steel, it's all about their negative earnings report, and for FAZ, it's just an overall market move. So let's go ahead and continue to watch this as FAZ keeps going up here. I'm anticipating that U.S. Steel will continue to go down. So that is something you always want to keep aware of, is not only how the overall market's doing, which you can identify through ETFs, such as SPY for the spiders, DIA for Dow Jones Industrial Average. You want to look at industries. FAZ is actually a financial industry ETF, as well as SKF. And then you also want to look at individual stocks and news affecting individual stocks. One nice thing about StocksMovingNOW.com is it does give you the industry that each stock is in. And I sorted it not only by name but by number. This is an industry standard numbering system, and so so anything that is similar in industry will have a similar number. For example, these two stocks are both in the educational and training. This is Cocoa Corinthian Colleges. I can't remember the name for ESI, but they both have the same number of 766. But this stock at 760 is related to that industry in business services. And of course, these are making new highs right now, the new lows, of course. You also want to look at that as well. So U.S. Steel seems to be bouncing back a bit. AIG is one that is also showing up on the radar here as breaking to new lows. Obviously, that's a financial institution that's really taking it on the chin. It's kind of the scapegoat for a lot of what's going on. So let's pull up AIG. See, it's breaking off. It's breaking lower as well. So it was here. It was at 24.95 and dropping down to 24.28. Here's 121,000 shares in volume. Not a huge amount, but certainly it is pushing lower at a time when FAZ, which is the financial bear fund, ETF fund, is going higher. Obviously, Barack Obama may be saying some negative things about AIG. Of course, the government owns 80% of AIG anyways, so I don't know what else can be done. That scapegoat's been beaten to death. That whipping boy has been taken out to the shed quite a few times. At any rate, so here AIG is breaking lower. Besides just the overall news, I don't know if there's any news specific. Let's go back here and take a look at AIG on Yahoo. See if there's any news. Preview of the House's AIG hearing. So let's see. Okay, so at any rate, not anything in particular. Certainly there's going to be some financial regulations coming down the pike. And again, StocksMovingNow.com does not constitute a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security or derivative whatsoever, and you should not consider any such information as a recommendation. It is just simply that. It is just information. As you can see, FAZ breaking out higher here. You can see it over here on the Scottrade market mover screen, FAZ going higher. There's AIG breaking lower. So basically why I created StocksMovingNow.com is as a Scottrade account holder, I would see this information. It would be very interesting, but I couldn't do anything about it. It would either move too fast, but StocksMovingNow.com kind of aggregates that data and blends it on the one. Here you see FAZ breaking out really good. AIG looks like again, the whipping boy, the opposite position you want to be in, opposite of FAZ. And you can see here all of this started breaking down here right around 1524, which AIG, we caught it at 1528. Over on FAZ, we started loading up also at 1524. So there were some definite breaks in the market at 1524. And so let's continue to watch this. I think this is very interesting to watch these two stocks juxtaposed against each other. And they certainly are both, FAZ is going higher, AIG is going lower. So continue to watch this. You can also see PNC, also financial firm, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, BB&T, BAC, all breaking out to new lows, also feeding into this drive upward on FAZ. AIG will just continue to break down lower. Let's see where, now the target on AIG, if we look back here, the support and resistance on AIG, support is at 2320. So that's how far down it would go, and 2470. These are calculated. These are pivot points that are calculated based on industry standard formulas. The same with FAZ. It's got support at 1939, and 2062 is as high as it can go before it starts hitting some resistance. So let's continue to watch this. This is a really exciting move. To see this in play, again, StocksMovingNow.com picked this up at 1524, which is right on this bar. When it was at 1997, it's gone up 38 cents since then, and at 1524 on this bar, which is right here, and it started breaking down at 24.95. It's at 24.20, so that moved down 75 cents. Of course, not all financial firms you can short. In fact, I'm not sure if you can short AIG, but certainly there are options available that can be bought on that. Let's take a look here. We go to the options. You could buy, for example, the 25. Again, this is not a recommendation, but certainly a way to play the downward move, especially in these financials where you can't short them. A $25 put can be purchased for $1.75. Let's go ahead and go back here to our Stocks Moving Now website. Again, Stocks Moving Now, it's a very affordable website at just $4.95 a month. It is just an information service. We aren't recommending anything. We're just identifying new highs and new lows as FAZ is breaking higher here. Let's take a look here. 2062 is resistance, and it continues to push higher. So I don't think this thing is going to pull back into the close. We're at 343. I'm going to continue to let this run. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off now so that I can put this onto YouTube, and we'll do a part 2 to this as well.